This space is too crowded. It is way too crowded for you to be boring. Death to boring, my friends. Death to boring. Tell a story. Get excited. Be passionate about what you're doing. If you're not really excited about the product, if you don't see how it makes an MSP's life better, if you're not up there because it's your fucking dream to get up there, I just swore. Anyways, then don't get up there. Okay, I've got a few minutes before my day starts. I'm clearly in a hotel. Lots going on in the last little while. I had an interesting week or so. Look at me being somewhat consistent for these for these deals. Anyways, what's going on? I'm on the road, clearly. I was in Vegas. I had to go to Vegas for one of our partners' goes last year. Got in. It was hectic. The first day, actually, I probably didn't have to get there as soon as I did, but we got to meet one of our phenomenal partner that was having their SCO there. I had a webinar on the Thursday for another one of our distributors. Great. I love how we've come such a long way when it comes to webinars and around product and everything, and that I really get a chance to talk about quote unquote thought leadership. I don't have to focus on 100% product, right? We get to make it interesting. I get to share stories about when I had my MSP and my MSSP. And so it's super, super exciting. There, people get caught up in it. There was great interaction. Anyways, I did the webinar. I blasted off. I had to jump in an Uber and rip down to the Bellagio, where, again, that partner was having their SCO. Got on stage there with my cohort, Chris Marquez, over at Iron Scales. Look, if anybody has watched any of my stuff in the past, if you've gone to my speaking website, death to boring, man. Death to boring. Like, you cannot. I don't. So my message, and one of these days, and sooner than later, I'm going to start targeting vendors. You cannot go on stage and stand there and talk about your product and talk about the features and point at a PowerPoint for 45 minutes and expect people to pay attention. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Just tell a story. You've got, I don't care if you have 15 minutes. I don't care if you have 10 minutes. You got to work in a story. You got to make it relevant. You got to make this fun. Like, it's just like you are on the edge of a cliff, and it's so easy to fall off and just to go through and click through your slides and talk about your product. Like, this space is too crowded. It is way too crowded for you to be boring. Death to boring, my friends. Death to boring. Tell a story. Get excited. Be passionate about what you're doing. If you're not really excited about the product, if you don't see how it makes an MSP's life better, if you're not up there because it's your fucking dream to get up there, I just swore. Anyways, then don't get up there. Just don't. All right. Nobody wants to sit through that. Anyways, I feel sorry for the guy before us because he is boring as hell. And Chris and I got up there and we freaking rocked it. The CEO, one of the founders, came up to us after and just said, "Thank you for making this exciting. Thank you for engaging." And it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. We screwed up. We had some AV issues. And while Chris worked on that, I had a story about how, what was the story again? See, I do it on the fly a lot of times. But the story was about, it was about remediating email. Oh, that's what it was. It was about remediating email and how most MSPs rely on the user to forward the email and make it to, anyways, it doesn't matter what the story was. But what I did is I got someone in the audience to stand up, and they were the smartest person in the company. I made a joke about that. And then I've had other people stand up as the other impacted users, and I used them in the story, and they thought that was great. You think they're sleeping through that? They're not sleeping through that. They're engaged. They're involved. Sorry. That's my soapbox. I could talk about that for the rest of my 15 minutes. Anyways, that's 4 minutes in. Next. Oh, so yeah, we finished up that. So much fun. We went out. We had some drinks with the partner. It was a good time. Got to connect. Went to bed. Got up super early the next morning. Booked it down to the airport in Vegas, and jumped on a plane to Dallas. Got to Dallas, and it was pouring rain, and I knew, but look, I knew. All right. I mean, I didn't go on the roads when it was icy, at least, but I got to Dallas. It was pouring rain. I knew there was a snowstorm coming. I was supposed to present. This was going to be so cool. I was so excited about this. I was supposed to present at the Dallas Stars game to a partner and their clients and their potential clients. And I was really excited about that. They honestly only had like 5-7 minutes, but I had this really cool presentation I never got to do because we were at the hockey game. It was hockey themed. I had ChatGPT pull up some cool stuff when it came to how whatever. I won't get into it. It's cool. Maybe one of these days I'll just do it on here, or maybe I'll get a chance to do it for that client. I incorporated the different layers of iron scales and the defense, and I got to it would have been fun. It would have been fun. I'm going to keep it in my back pocket, and then hopefully I'll get a chance to do it. Anyways, Stars game was awesome, but because of the impending weather, they changed the itinerary. So none of the vendors, there was me and 2 other vendors. We didn't get to talk, but we got to enjoy some great camaraderie at the Stars game. It was very intimate because some of the weather kept a lot of people away, including my VP who was supposed to be there, Brian Thomas. So that didn't work out. But again, game was awesome. We were supposed to go down to the Benchwarmers and have a look down there. But again, they didn't want people to be on the road in case it started to cool off, which eventually it did. It didn't until I think it was like 2 a.m. I was supposed to stay just down around the corner from the arena. But I'm from Dallas. I have a ton of family, so I just stayed with family because I didn't want to. Last thing I wanted to do was be in Dallas at a hotel and have the power go out, surrounded by ice. Forget that. Jumped in an Uber before it started freezing up. Got to my aunt and uncle's place. Stayed there. Got to visit with cousins. That was phenomenal. I was supposed to fly out to Calgary on Sunday, but because of the weather, I went ahead and pushed my flight till Monday. Good thing I did because my flight was canceled. Monday late afternoon, it was my last chance. I had booked a bunch of dinners and some lunches and some meetings with some of our partners in Calgary. And so if I didn't get out on Monday, I was just going to come home because it wasn't going to be worth it. It was a little sketchy. I'll admit it. You could tell that Dallas clearly isn't ready for a snowstorm. They had like gravel graders pushing snow down LBJ Freeway, something I never thought I'd see in my life. Got to the airport, got on. It was a little bit close call. Almost missed my connecting flight in Minneapolis. Anyways, you don't care about any of that. Anyways, I'm in Calgary. Last night, had a phenomenal dinner with a partner who's like positioning themselves they do a lot of compliance as a funnel to get MSP partners. They work with a lot of nonprofits and they do some really cool offerings in order to build their funnel. I love hearing about how MSPs are getting creative about building their business. Man, that just fascinates me. We went to a Brazilian steak place last night. It was really, really good. I've got a meeting this afternoon with a large partner of ours. It was tough to find some time with them, but I'm glad they're making some time for me. We're going to get down. We're going to talk about strategy. We're going to talk about growth. Honestly, like last night, we spent 2.5 hours talking. You know what? Absolutely, iron scale. We talked about iron scales. We talked about how we can partner with them better. But we talked about business. Like I just, man, I do. I miss that part of it. And so I think. It's great, and I'm not gonna lie. Like clearly, it makes the conversation different, I presume, than it would be with maybe any other vendor that doesn't really understand the business. So I get to have a lot of fun with that. It's a blast. I love my life. And then so I'm meeting this afternoon with a partner tonight. I'm meeting with. I'm actually meeting with my old. One of the owners of my old MSP because they're doing some really cool stuff out here in Calgary. Excited to meet with them. Big movements there, and then I'll head home. I'm home for a week, and then I am off to get this, and then I'm off to Amsterdam for an event And then I'm off to, I think I'm only there for, like, I fly in, I'm there for the event, fly out the next day. So it's a quick trip. Won't get to see anybody I know out there, unless they're at the event. And then I will take off to London to train one of our new PSMs that will take over my responsibility for the rest of world, quote unquote, rest of world, meaning everywhere but the US and Canada. Yeah. And then I'll meet some partners out there too, do some introductions, kiss some hands, shake some babies, that kind of thing. Anyways, that's it. I got to run. Yeah, that's my update for the last week or so. Take care. Stay secure. See ya.